Hey YouTube, welcome to this beginner reformer class. So when I look at the differences between a beginner reformer class and more of my challenging classes, there's one thing that's in common. It's all around the basics, the basic moves in a reformer class. The difference is that as we advance on, I'm going to be moving a little quicker, the transitions from one exercise to the other. And second, I'm going to make things a bit more complicated when it comes to coordination. Move your right arm as you do your left arm. It's going to be more to think about. But by that point, you'll have a good foundation to your reformer practice and you will get there. But essentially, it's all centered on the basics. So what's the setup? Handles on, your headrest is up if you'd like. Footbar is up. The weight is 2 heavy and 1 medium. That's 2 red for me and a blue for Footwork. I'm going a little lighter than I normally do. My decision, up to you. Box will be used today in the long position for a few exercises, and also the ball. So if you have a ball, grab it. I think it's a good one. I love to return to the fundamentals and really talk about form, but at the same time, not getting too wrapped up in your form. This is a new thing to you. You're not going to be perfect. So if you feel like, I can't get all this, who cares? Just move, it'll come to you eventually. Don't worry about it. So let's have a little bit of fun and start. Let's lie on down. Scoot your bum towards the edge of the carriage and, cold carriage. All right. Your shoulders are against the shoulder rest. Your toes are going to go down right there in the middle of the bar. I'm about hip distance. I feel all 10 toes on that foot bar. I'm going to press away and take a peek up. Looks good. All 10 toes on. I'm trying to put a little bit more weight in my big toe. Head goes down, and then I'm going to lower both heels down and hang out here a second. I'm going to widen my stance just a smidge. You might have to too, and hang out. My hands are going to go right there on top of my rib cage. I'm going to breathe in and exhale. With each breath, I'm just melting myself into that carriage, relaxing as my heels maybe lower even more with each exhale. Inhale and exhale. My arms are going to go long, fingertips free. Lift both heels and lower. Lift and lower. Nothing fancy. How does this feel? You're doing your best to root right there in the center of the pad of that foot, right by those toes. Lifting as high as you can go and lowering, finding that length. You are so long through the crown of the head. This one sneaks up on you. Your calves feel the heat right away. Lift and lower. A few more here. And breathe. Last one. Keep those heels lifted. Bend the knees. Come all the way on in. Grab a hold onto that ball. Ball is going to go right there in between those thighs above the knees, and your heels are going to go on the foot bar. You don't have a huge squeeze on this ball. It's just placed right there. We're going to go all the way on out and hold it here a second. All right, I'm going to take a peek up again. Is the distance from the outside of my heels the same on each side? It looks good. I don't want to have a huge squeeze of that ball. I'm flexing those feet, and now I'm bending it. All right, let's go. First off, Breathe. Sometimes the hardest part in your Pilates practice is finding your breath. Doesn't matter to me where you find that inhale or exhale, but you need to breathe. For me, it's an exhale as we go out, and then inhale in. All right. You're extending those legs all the way on out. You have a baby squeeze on the ball, and you're keeping that tailbone down as you come on in. Few more. Legs extend all the way on out and then bending in. We're not locking those knees out like this. I always say your legs are like a rubber band. You're stretching them right before that rubber band breaks and then in. On that next one, I want you to hold those legs out here. Bend those knees halfway in and hold. So you're holding tension, holding this position. All right, let's check in. We're not tucking our tail like I'm doing right now. We're trying not to arch our back too much. We're finding that nice in-between position and holding it there. Now, squeeze in on the ball and then release it slowly. Squeeze and release. Flexing those feet. The tops of my thighs are starting to feel warm. It's a good thing. Inner thighs are working. I'm imagining that my heels are going to slide together on that footbar. That's not going to happen, but I'm imagining it will. A few more here. Squeeze. Last one. And slowly extend the legs all the way long. And bend the knees in. Wiggle yourself away from the shoulder rests. Those legs are going to go to tabletop. Your head will come up and your elbows are going to go wide. You're just supporting that head. You're looking straight to those legs. Squeeze that ball and release. Squeeze and release. So I'm cradling my head. I'm not lifting through my upper body as I squeeze the ball just yet. I'm just focusing in on as I squeeze the ball, squeeze the abdominals, knit the ribs, and then small release. Inhale and exhale. Again, my arms, hands just cradling that head. You're moving slowly. Anytime you need that head to come down, do it. And then you come back up. Also, if this is coming into your low back, I want you to bend your knees a little bit more into your chest. Head comes down briefly, feet go down just for a few seconds. We're going back up. Feet go into tabletop, head comes up, hands go behind the head. Just hold that little squeeze on the ball. Now let's lift through that upper body slightly. And then down slightly. Lift. And down. So small, lifting through right here as opposed to pulling the head and neck. You can barely tell I'm moving. It's just so small. And of course, I'm having a hard time talking. Move, slow. A few more here. Head down. Great job. Place that ball right there behind you. We're going to lose it for now. Toes are going to go back on that foot bar how we started class. We're going to lift those heels. Extend the legs all the way on out long and just hold it here a second. Maybe move those toes around, make sure they're in the right position. All right, I'm lifting. I do feel my shoulders pressing against the shoulder rest. You will too. But I'm gently pressing my tailbone down and breathing. From here, keep one heel lifted, the other one lowers, and hold. Again, a nice big breath in. Exhale. On that exhale, the heel that's low will go even a smidge lower. Now switch the feet. Hold. Essentially, all that weight is on the leg with the foot lowered. We're going to go slow. Let's lift both heels up now. One heel goes under, the other lifts. Both heels lift. You feel that length through that body, and then switch. We're not going very fast for a reason. I want you to feel this. Feel one heel going nice and low as you're pressing that opposite ball of the foot into the foot bar. And switching. I'll show you what to avoid. Okay, you see I'm kind of like sliding around. Of course, that's an exaggeration. I know you're not doing that. Lifting, tailbone down, and one at a time. You're trying to be really quiet through here. Really quiet through those hips. I'm going to pick up the pace a smidge. Why not? Relax, breathe. If you feel like you're not getting this, don't worry about it. Just move. It's not like I'm going to come through the camera and beat you. Who cares? Just move. And one. Hold it there. Big inhale. And exhale. Feels so good. Oh, my calves. Lift those heels up, bend those knees. Come on in. One more piece of this footwork series. Your heels will go to either side of the foot bar and you're going to be turned out. I call this the unladylike position. All right. Flexing those feet. Tailbone is down. Extend the legs out and then in. Here we go. Life is a little better when we're on our heels, regardless of what position in footwork. This is feeling fine to me. I'm just going to check in with my breathing, with my upper body. Am I holding tension? Odds are I am. You're just gliding through this. Your feet are flexed. And remember, I said, imagine those heels are drawing together on that foot bar. I'm going to say it again. We want to warm up those inner thighs. So coming together, they won't, but imagine it. And out. It does not matter to me your pace. Few more. Full range. You're extending those legs all the way long and bending. Hold those legs long, bend the knees halfway in. Kind of like what we did before. We're holding tension here. We're settled. Our tailbone's down. We're breathing. We're making a nice little bit of a fold here, a crease at the hips. Resting those arms by your side. Small. Press the carriage away slightly, and down. So small. Breathe. You can barely tell I'm moving. I don't want you to move very much. But as you do, dig the inside of the heels more into the footbar. 2. 1. Legs go all the way on out long. And bend the knees in. Great job, guys. Take both feet on that footbar. Drop your knees to one side real quick. And drop the knees to the other side. From here, if your headrest is up, take it down. I'm going to grab that ball again, and it's going to go in that same position. So right there in between my thighs, above the knees. My heels are going to be on that footbar. Just relax those feet. We're going to do a little bit of pelvic rolling, which I'm assuming you've seen before, but I'm going to lay it out for you. Belly button imagines a 12 on a clock. The lady parts are a 6. I know that might not seem very appropriate, but I mean, everybody knows, that. So I'm going to roll towards the 12 on the clock. So you see me, I'm rolling that pelvis down towards the 12. And then I'm going to roll it towards the 6. And I got this nice arch of my back. That's what we're doing. We're rolling to the 12 and the 6. And we're being kind of dramatic about it, like from one extreme to the other. This is a great one to do with the ball under your tailbone, which we'll do in subsequent videos. But for now, we're just rolling forward and back. Few more here. You're breathing naturally. Happy spine, happy life. And the ball's just hanging out there. A few more here. Nice breath in and out. And we're going to land on a spot that's right in between the two. Right there. Finding that spot takes practice. It's called neutral spine. You'll get there. From here, going a little bit into a shoulder bridge. We're not going to articulate up. We're going to lift those hips in one count. Give me an inhale. Exhale. Hips lift. And then they lower in one piece. We lift and lower. Sometimes in Pilates classes, you'll hear your teacher say, articulate the spine down. Just like me, I say that too. Not today. I'm just having you pick it up in one count and tap down. Inhale. Exhale. Hey, this is the basics. And the basics are hard. Soon we're going to hold it up there and I'm going to struggle. And you'll hear me complain. But that's what I do. Keep it real. You're going to hold it up here. Let's talk. All right, we're not like that, popping our ribs. Arms are straight down by our side. I'm going to give myself a little tuck of the tail. Woo, I feel that in the fronts of my thighs. I'm going to squeeze that ball and just hang here a second. And breathe. Thinking, stretching my neck long in opposition to where those knees are pointing and holding it here. Option. Arms are going to go straight up to the ceiling, palms face one another, and breathe. I don't really care how high your hips are. You do you. Breathe.
One more time, inhale. And exhale. Float those arms down, palms face down. Drop those hips. Take a moment, come in. One more thing. Inhale, exhale. One count, lift those hips. Squeeze the ball, release it a little bit. Squeeze and release. I don't care how long you've been doing this. It's hard. Right now, I just want to run away and have a cup of coffee. But I won't. I'll just sit here and squeeze this dumb ball and breathe. Remember I told you how you feel like the heels are going to go together on that footbar? Yeah, same thing. Makes it harder, I promise. All right, I got to relax my upper body. Done. Flat back. Ooh. Grab a hold onto that ball and hug your knees in. My knees are open wide and I'm going to rock side to side. Woo. Ooh. Ball goes down a second. Let's come on up. Notice how graceful I am. I'm going to straddle the reformer. Pull my shirt down. Move yourself back a little bit. Hands on that foot bar. I'm going to press my palms down. I'm just going to round my spine. Oh, yeah. So I've curled my pelvis. I'm rounded, pressing down on top of that foot bar, and then I'm going to come up nice and tall. And back down, rounding. And up. Oh, yeah. Proud chest. From here, left hand goes in the center of that foot bar. I'm going to rotate towards you and just grab a hold on to that carriage and get a little rotation on the spine because it feels so good. And I'm going to come back through center. Right hand goes on the center of that foot bar, same thing. Maybe hug those legs into the wood frame and any frame you've got. Feel my inner thighs releasing. And coming back through center. Weight change. I'm going to one heavy and one medium. That is a red and blue for me. All right, let's lay on down. We won't be here long, don't worry. Okay. My headrest is gonna go up again for me. I like the head up in this position when I use the straps. All right, ball comes back, sorry. Back into that spot, right there above the knees, in between the thighs. You're gonna scoot yourself a little bit away from the shoulder rest so you're not so shoved up, and you're gonna pick up those hand straps or whatever handles you have. Your arms are gonna press forward, your feet are still on that foot bar. So I'm in some tension here, all right? Now I'm gonna pick up those legs. Here we are. Yay, this is our start point. But before we start, let's talk. Okay, we've got some tension. I like to have my fingertips free, totally up to you. My shoulders are down, or at least I'm trying. Remember, you can always take those knees a little bit closer to your chest. If your low back hurts you, I'm gonna try and get my knees in line with my hips and finding that lovely neutral that we talked about. Give me a big inhale through your nose. Exhale, those arms are gonna go down and up. All right, let's just get this feeling without me babbling about, well, you want this and this and this. Just find your breath and what does this feel like? You're moving slow. I have my pinky free. When I press down, I'm thinking I'm initiating the movement almost at my armpit while I keep my shoulder blades down the best I can. Always an option to bring those knees in a little bit closer to your chest. because we don't want to see this. Oh, Johanna. Yeah, try not to do that. You're knitting your ribs together. Pretty basic, guys. So I'm trying to avoid what I'm going to do right now. No. Always in some tension. So just go slow. Your arms are nice and long. On this next one, I want you to hold those arms down by your side. This would be a good time to bring your knees in a little bit. I'm going to make a fist now with my hands. My arms are down on the carriage. I'm going to bend those elbows and straighten. Bend and straighten. So some tricep work. I love a good bat wing series, and this is it. You're rolling those knuckles towards the footbar, really getting into those triceps. 3, bending those elbows. 2, and 1, arms up, feet go down, find the footbar. Still with the ball in that position, I just want you to take your knees to one side. Find your breath. We have one more thing here with that ball in between the thighs. If your hip flexors are bothering you, I understand. I do. You can always take that ball away, go into that turned out tabletop, which would be more this instead of parallel. But I promise we won't be here that long. All right, one more thing here. Coming on back, feet are down. Arms go straight up to the ceiling. You're going to give a little bit of forward pressure on those handles. Again, I'm back to fingertips free, totally up to you. Let's take those legs into a tabletop. Give me an inhale. Exhale. The arms are going to start to come down again, and your head is going to lift. Arms start to lift, and the head comes down. It's a good timing exercise. Inhale. Exhale. They both come up slowly. I'm reaching long with those arms, and then everything back. On this next one, you're going to hold those arms down and keep that head lifted if you can, and just squeeze the ball. Squeeze and release it a little bit. Inhale, exhale. All right, find that breath. I promise, if you reach those arms long, it's going to help. I don't care how high that head is lifted. A few more. 1. Arms up, head down. Find the footbar with your feet. Awesome work. Bye-bye ball for a second. Knees come into your chest. I like to go wide and rock side to side. Good news. We're coming up off our back. Woo! All right. Let's do a weight change. I'm going to be on one red. That's one heavy. I'm going to take my footbar down, and my long box is going to come on. So grabbing a hold onto that box. All right. Pressing that box against the shoulder rest. Headrest goes down. I'm going to grab the ball again. I'm going to sit facing back towards the rails. All right. Ball's going to go sandwiched in between those thighs, and you're going to move yourself back on the box. Let's pick up those handles. Your goal is to sit up nice and tall here. All right. My fingertips are free. You do you. You're just going to take those arms back and hold it here a second. All right. Settle in. Got a nice squeeze of that ball, and you're up nice and tall. Arms are going to go slowly forward. Inhale, exhale, sweep those arms back. How far you go back is up to you. And slightly forward. Breathe. This This is called chest expansion. Are you on your phone a lot during the day and your head is forward? I know I am. Right here, our goal is to grow taller as we press that tension into our palms and forward. I really think about my pinky here leading the way back. Slowing things down. Pinky's gonna win the race. My daughter has a stuffed animal named Pinky. Inhale and exhale. You're going to hold those arms back there best you can and enjoy this quiet hold. And breathe. I'm starting to shake. Anybody else? Those arms might come a little forward. I'm not a dodo. I know that happens. We're only human. Feeling those shoulder blades come together behind you, depressing that scapula. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Arms go forward, and let's assume the I'm on the phone position a second. Awesome. Hang up your left strap. You're going to hold on to your right strap with your left hand, but you're going to choke up. If this is too heavy, take your weight down to a medium spring. All right. Ball stays where it is. Shoulders square forward. The strap is crossed. Your right hand is going to go behind your head and your elbow is going to go wide. You might have to give yourself a little oomph here. Inhale, exhale, row the arm. Let's talk a second. You're up nice and tall. That arm is pointing slightly down, left shoulder away from your ear, and the arm is going to go forward. You're going to look straight ahead. Inhale, exhale, rotate, and back. As you do this, I'm looking over my left shoulder. My left thigh is squeezing in on the ball, so really feel that rotation. And forward. Inhale, exhale. I'm sure you've heard this before about a good Pilates class. Well, at least I hope you have. We want to move the spine in all directions. And this, my friends, is rotation. I do this a lot when I'm moving my groceries from the cart to my trunk. A few more here. My elbow's not up here. It's a little bit more down, right there, in the same line as my waist. 2. And 1, coming back through center, hang up that handle. Picking up the left strap, I'm going to choke up. You do you. Square forward. My left hand's going to go behind my head. My arm is down slightly in front of me. Inhale, exhale. We rotate, sitting up as tall as you can, and then slowly, arm goes straight. You look center. And exhale. The hand behind the head is just a suggestion. Find whatever position you want to do with that arm. Inhale. And exhale. You're rotating through that waist. My knees are pointing straight ahead to my door in front of me. And exhale. Working on our posture here. No rolling back, none of that stuff. Our goal is to sit up nice and tall. I want 2 of your best. And 1, Slowly, arm forward, done. Hang up that handle. No more ball for now. I'm gonna get that ball out of here and I'm gonna do a weight change. I'm going to a blue, which is a medium spring. One medium goes on, the red comes off. Let's lie on our stomach facing the headrest. All right, from here, the girls, which I affectionately call my boobies, are right there on the edge of the carriage. My legs are long, the width of the box. I prefer that. It's better on my low back. Your arms are gonna go long on the side of your frame. Right now, I just kind of want you to dump your head a second. Don't worry about right or wrong. Just kind of hang here a moment. Take a couple breaths. Hang. Look like maybe a sloth. I'll try and go for that. All right, sloth time is over. I'm actually going to move myself a little bit more forward on the girls. So your arms are long, you're not in any tension. You're pressing those hands down on top of your frame. And your chin's to your chest and you're dumping your head. Here, give me an inhale. Exhale, press that weight down into those hands as you pull yourself forward. The carriage will move forward as your head comes up in line with your spine. You are in tension here. You're pressing down on the frame. Head goes dump, 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 and you come back to the bumper. Inhale, exhale. Again, this is a small exercise. Those elbows might bend a little. That's totally okay. I just want that head going in line with your spine and holding it here a second in this tension. So you're pulling your ribs in, you're pressing those hip bones down and depressing that scapula, shoulder blades coming together, and then coming back down. Let's do a few more of these. Inhale, exhale, pressing. So we're not going into extension quite yet. I'm just getting that nice long line of the body. I imagine somebody's pulling my legs in the opposite direction as I pull the carriage towards the rails. On this next one, I want you to add a little bit of extension. You give me an inhale here, exhale. You're going to pull that carriage. We're going to go through, like we did before, head in line with the spine, but then we're going to pull the carriage even more as we lift that upper body slightly, and then we come back down. Give me an inhale, exhale. So if you're saying to yourself, yeah, my low back, it's starting to go into that. Didn't you like how I described that so well? Bend the knees and just keep going. Inhale, exhale. Just learning some fundamentals of extension, spinal extension. Nothing too crazy. I'm thinking of plugging my shoulders into the sockets. I want two more. Dump, dump, dump. Back. I'm in no tension here. Inhale, exhale, pull, pushing my pubic bone down on the box. I want one more here. And exhale. And everything coming on home. Take your time. Come up to all fours on the box. So I'm going to heave ho up here. If you need to come off the box onto the floor and get up on all fours, do it. Totally up to you. All right, knees right there under those hips. Let's round that spine up. And then an arch. And we round. Right here in this round position, shoulders are over the wrists, knees over the hips, but then again, it's a stretch, so whatever, do what feels good for you. I've been bossing you around for a long time. You should at least do what you want to do. And Going to come back to that neutral, coming off the box. We are done with the box. Box comes off. I'm going to get rid of it. All righty. Moving on. Let's do a little bit of lower body. So, foot bar stays down. I'm going into a weight change. This is going to go into a heavy spring. One red spring. The blue is coming off. I'm going to come around and face you to start. So getting up on this carriage, depending on how high your reformer is, can be a little challenging. I've got a wall here, so find whatever it is for you to step up, but you always want to go on the platform that doesn't have a spring attached to it first. Here we go. All right, I'm up. One of my feet's a couple inches away from the edge of the carriage. We do a little bit of speed skating. Just move right now. Take the carriage out a few inches and then get your bearings here. Woo, this sounds fun, right? All right, taking both legs out, not both legs out, one leg out, but even weight in both feet. All right, we're just testing the waters here. How does it feel? Feel a little weird? It's kind of cool. It's kind of fun. Let's add. Arms out, your toes are pointed straight ahead, and then you're going to come on in and think of growing taller, come into the bumper and almost squeeze that carriage together, those inner thighs coming together. Out and in. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. I feel like a dancer that I never was. Out. And in, squeeze, 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 squeeze. All right. So with each press away, you might take that carriage even further out. Now that you're getting used to it, we're going to add on, bring the carriage in with a little bit of a side bend. Same movement with the low body. You're going to see if you can take that arm slightly overhead, getting that side bend, and then coming on back. This is a little too much going on. Don't worry about it. You don't need to do it. Always an option too. Just side bend towards that leg that's on the carriage and back. My one arm glides down the leg on the carriage. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze in. And with every rep, I'm getting an even greater stretch. 2, 1, and coming on back. From here, take the carriage out a little bit, okay? Just take it out. We're going to do some squats, so you're going to hold the tension on the carriage. We're going to go down and up. Doing some squats. What do you want to do with those hands? Doesn't matter to me. You want to keep them on the hips? Do it. Heavy in those heels. All we're doing is squatting down and up. Let's say you're like, yeah, I don't want to hold tension in on the carriage. Just bring that carriage in and do this whole thing with the carriage in. Totally up to you. I'm going to go on out, hold the tension, and keep going. Moving slow. My red spring is shaking a little bit. That's okay. It means I'm working. Finding that breath heavy in those heels as I press down and go up. I want you to hold it down there. Hold it down there. Stay still. Breathe in and out. In and out. I'm going to take my hands in front of me and breathe. So you're just going to stay at this point. You have tension on that heavy spring and you're holding it here. Holding the squat. If you need to come up and come back down, do it. Hold it. Hold it here. Can you get a little lower? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Carefully coming on home. We're going to go right to the other side. How does that look to you?
You might want to step off your reformer and then re-step on facing the other way. Since I'm right here next to a wall, I'm going to stand onto the standing platform and turn the other way rather quickly. Again, same setup. My left foot is a few inches away from the edge of the carriage. Just start to move. All right, we're going to the other side. There are no surprises. I'm not, doing anything exciting here. I'm just feeling the movement of the carriage. How does it, feel on my body? All right, it's kind of fun actually. Now I'm going to get a little more serious. Arms go long, toes point straight ahead. And back in, squeeze, 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 and then out. Remember that squeezing when you bring the carriage into the bumper. You'll hear it bump, cool. This next one I'll make louder. And squeeze those legs together. You do you. Doesn't matter how far you go out. What makes you comfortable? I forgot to squeeze. And out. Should we add a side bend? Arm travels down. You take that arm over and back. Finding just a bit of side bend in your body. Feels kind of nice. And breathe. So with each rep, I feel an even bigger stretch. So a little bit of speed skating. Classic Pilates reformer exercise, breaking it down. One more. And center. We take the carriage out a few inches. All right, let's squat. Down and up. This is a heck of a lot harder than it looks. Booty back, heavy in the heels, and then up. The carriage is going to wiggle around. I know that. It's doing it for me too. Just heavy in those heels, drive through those heels to come up. Let's take a few more before we hold it down there for more fun. Whatever with those arms, doesn't matter to me. Next one, hold it down there. We're going to hold. And breathe. Your lowest point. Remember, shift a little bit back on those heels, really getting into the tops of the thighs, and hold. I promise your breath's going to help you. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Carefully up you go. And you're going to come off this reformer however safely that looks for you. All right, guys, we're at the end. Foot straps go on. Foot straps go on. We're not going to do anything in particular with foot straps, but just play around in them a little bit to end our class. I'm switching out my straps. Foot straps go on. I'm going to take my headrest up. Footbar goes up. And I'm adding some weight. I'm going to go onto a red and a blue spring. That's a heavy and a medium. I'm lying on down, kind of where we started. How to get into these straps. Both heels are going to go on that foot bar, and you're going to find one strap.
Place it behind one foot as you press away with the opposite leg. Pick up the other strap. Are you ready? There you go. Making sure those straps are nice and snug, closer to the heels. Take those legs straight up to the ceiling. Grab a hold on to those black cords and breathe. We're ending our session with experimentation in straps. What the heck does that mean? What feels good to you? All right. Like this feels really good to me. Right here, my tailbone's down. But now I'm going to take those legs back a little further and lift my bum up a little bit and flex my feet. And that feels really good to me too. There's no right or wrong here. You're just doing what feels good, playing in these straps. You're not going to break, I promise. Breathe. Maybe they go back a little bit more and you pull down and breathe. We've worked for almost an hour. And this is the good part. I'm going to allow those legs to go forward for me. I'm going to take my arms by my side and I'm going to open out to the side of the room and pause. Maybe I'll take the legs a little further back for a greater stretch. My point is for you to find what feels good. Throw Pilates form out the door for a couple of minutes and just hang. Now, I'm going to bring my legs a little bit closer together and I'm going to bend my knees in and just hug my knees in. Okay, my bum's lifting a little bit. I'm just hanging here. It feels really good. So good on my spine. I'm just focusing on being present. I'm pretty thankful for my ability to move. Guys, I encourage you to stay in these straps for a little longer and just move. Next time we meet, we'll dive a little bit deeper in some other things we can do in foot straps, but for now, I think this is pretty nice. I hope you've enjoyed this session. You're never going to get Pilates in the first 2 or 3 sessions. It's a learning curve. It takes time, but I promise you it is so worth it. Have a good day. I shall see you soon.